Today's show is brought to you, in my opinion, courtesy of H-E-B. Not just the only supermarket in Texas, but the only supermarket you'd want to go to. Other than, of course, their Central Market. But we're going to stick to H-E-B. Hopefully they'd love to sponsor me. So, where are we today? We've got beautiful Zen music playing. I'm in a Zen relaxation mode. And you're saying, well, what is today's show about? If you're so relaxed and calm. Well, let me tell you. Today's show is all about Thanksgiving. A time when everybody usually goes frazzle nuts crazy, but we're doing it zen and easy. And this is why. Today, it's, I think the 19th. In a couple of days, I head home to go for Thanksgiving. I usually cook every year, but this year I got a reprieve. My cousins invited us over to their house for dinner. So I was thinking, ow, phenomenal. I get to rest a little bit and not have to cook on a Thanksgiving, especially with the traveling and all. But then my coworkers from the last potluck that we had said, oh, please, please, can you cook for us? So I gleefully agreed. So I'm gonna still make a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, but I'm starting it a couple of days in advance. I bug out here on the 22nd, so we got a couple of days to work this through. And we're gonna start, my very first thing is making our brine for our turkey. I love brining turkeys. It's been the best thing I've learned in all of the years. Thank you very much, Alton Brown. If you ever need the recipe for this, just go to foodnetwork.com, Alton Brown, best Thanksgiving. I mean, this guy's got the turkey. It's been the best one I've ever done in years. I've modified it a little bit, add a couple of seasonings, things like this. What we're gonna make is we're gonna make a turkey. We're going to make a sausage and sage stuffing. We're going to make fresh cranberries, candied cranberries. We're going to make, also with a little bit of citrus in there. And we're going to make roasted butternut squash. Again, not a huge thing, but it's a great thing to serve. It was either that or Brussels sprouts. I do Brussels sprouts all the time, so this year I'm going to do the butternut squash. We're going to do 2 pork shoulders, or picnic pork shoulders, in a Spanish method. Half of my family is Spanish, and they like to do this thing called a pernil. Very Caribbean type of roasted pork dish that you roast for about 10 hours. We're going to do that. And we're going to also make boiled yuca with a beautiful dipping sauce to go with it, a garlic dipping sauce. So, stay tuned. It's going to be a fabulous couple of days that we're going to run this tape. And we're going to start by making our brine. So, let me assemble the ingredients we're going to need to make our brine, and we'll be right back. We're going to assemble our brine. And what is a brine? A brine is a liquid that has a lot of flavor in it. And because you turn all of these ingredients into a liquid, they are able to permeate the skin and the meat of the protein of the turkey and get inside the meat in a liquid state. And then when it evaporates, all of that salt and flavoring and everything stays inside the meat. So what you're left with is a very juicy, delicious bird. It's going to plump this bird up like nobody's business. So what we're going to start with is about a ½ gallon of water in that, and you're going to see a trend here with certain flavorings because I like these flavors for Thanksgiving. And one is sage. I'm going to take up some sage leaves and tear them up a little bit and throw them in the pot. And some thyme, a nice sprig of thyme. I'm going to put that in the pot. Stem it all, don't worry about anything. Some rosemary, we're going to put that in the pot. Crush it a little bit because you want to start to release some of the essential oils that are in the rosemary. We're going to do a half a cup of brown sugar, because for every saltiness you want a sweetness to back it up somehow or another. That makes a beautiful brine. I don't know, but it's a nicer to me. This is why I don't bake. I hate dealing with certain ingredients. And this is one of them, the brown sugar. She's very sticky. It gets a clump. Look at that. It's just amazing stuff. Okay, good. Let me wash my hands. I gotta use that again later to make our cranberries too. So a half a cup of brown sugar and an equal amount, half cup kosher salt. May seem like a lot, but to a gallon of water, it's not a lot. So in it goes, and I'm gonna add about about a cup or two of apple cider, which is going to add such a nice flavor to this that it's going to be phenomenal. Let me get some. Let me just clean this up a little bit. There we go. And also to our brine, we're going to throw about a tablespoon of black peppercorns whole and 2 or 3 bay leaves. In the pot they go. Now, we're going to put this at like medium heat. We're going to let that come up to a simmer until all of the sugar and all of the salt is completely dissolved. Because then after that, we got to wait for this to cool down before we can stick our turkey in it. And so this year, the reason I'm only using that much water is because I'm going to brine it in a bag, which is the first time I'm doing this. Normally I put it in a cooler. I have one of those 5-gallon coolers, and I fill that up with the brine mixture and put the turkey in. It's usually about 2-3 gallons, 4 gallons worth of brine. This year, someone said, brine it in a bag, you won't have to make so much brine. So I'm going to give it a shot. They didn't have brining bags, but I was able to find these oven bags by Reynolds, which they seem nice and sturdy. We're going to try it. We'll keep the pot handy just in case there's any mishap. But let's bring that up to a boil. And once it's ready and then cooled down, we're going to get ready to stick our turkey in it. So while you're away, I'm going to get our turkey together, and we're going to see what we can do about letting this cool down. So we'll be right back. Okay, our brine is almost cooled down, so it's been a couple hours since I saw you last. And to help it along, I threw in like 5 cups of ice. That usually helps it cool down a little bit faster. Right here, we've got, now the next portion of this, we've got our beautiful fresh turkey. Fresh means this was never frozen. So it's a really good turkey, and it's a young turkey. And this one's about a 21 pounder. And what we're going to do is I'm going to stick it in the sink, take off all this wrapping, take out the gizzards and whatnot, and give her a good rinse. And then we're going to be ready to start working with it. So let me open up the package. Okay, because I know there's some novices out there, and there's some accomplished chefs and everything, and some really good cooks. But just for that, I'm going to go through the steps just so everybody knows what the procedure is here. I took the turkey out of the bag. I removed the neck, which was inside the cavity, and you remove the giblets, which is in a bag usually in the other end of where the turkey is, opposite of the cavity. And this bag has the heart, the liver, the lungs, and the giblets. We're going to use those in a gravy later on in the show. But here's our turkey. She's a beauty. We're going to leave this plastic holder that holds her feet together on there, and we're just going to give her a nice little rinse in cool water. They love a rinse in cool water. So just like that. Oh, and this little pop-up thermometer dealy deal, get rid of it. You're not going to need it. Not the way this turkey's going to come out. And we're just going to give her a nice little rinse. There we go. Beautiful. All rinsed off of all those little juices that she was sitting in for however many days. We're going to put the giblets aside. The neck is going to go in with our brine. So the next step is to get the bag, the brining bag. Like I said, this is an oven bag. It's not a true brining bag, but I believe it's going to work. So, we're going to pick up our bird. Oh my goodness. And we're going to slide her in the bag. In the bagger you go. And we're going to take our neck and put it back in here. And we're going to put this back in the sink. And we're going to open our bag up. Just like this. And we're going to take our beautiful brine, which has now cooled down tremendously, and we're going to pour it inside the bag. Nice and easy. Like I said, because we're doing this in the bag, it should take a lot less to completely cover this bird. A lot less brine. Let's get out all the air that we can. Just keep moving the air out so that you see the liquid on all parts of the bird. We're just going to keep pushing the air out. Keep pushing the air out. Wow, this is a nice bag. It's pretty resilient. Okay. There's our bag. I'm going to spin it around a little. Our bird is completely engulfed in that brine. Just for safety's sake, I'm going to put it inside another bag because they gave you two. And then I'm probably going to stick it back in this pot and stick it in the refrigerator. And we're going to let that sit and brine at least overnight. So, that being said, let me get this bird into another bag and into the pot and into the fridge. And we'll be right. Okay, now remember, today's the 19th. Our party is on the 23rd. I have to have all this food ready by the 22nd. The 22nd, the morning of the 22nd, so that they can just pop it in the oven, heat it all up, and have a wonderful feast, even though I'm not going to be there. So these are the things that we can make ahead of time that it's not going to be critical one way or the other if it sits for the next 2 or 3 days. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take my slow cooker, only because it's next to that pot that I put our turkey in. This is the next biggest pot that I have. So I'm going to use it to our advantage. And we're going to make our cranberry sauce, our cranberries. Now, this is going to be beautiful. People are going to be talking about this for decades. I bought a beautiful bag of fresh, pre-washed cranberries, and they're absolutely plump and juicy and delicious looking. And we're going to stick these inside our slow cooker.
Now this is a, let's see, this is a 3-pound bag. So that's a lot of cranberries. I hope people like cranberries. I know I do. So this is all going to cook down anyway. There is 3 pounds of cranberries, almost taking up the entire thing. We're going to fill this with some water so that it's just up to the level of the cranberries. Just like these. They love to be in water. That's their favorite place. When they harvest them, they flood the bogs so that all the ripe cranberries float to the surface. Okay, we're almost there. There we go. Okay, so we got our cranberries, nice of water. It's not going to cover them. They want to float on top. It's what they do. So, and to this, we're going to add about a cup of white sugar. Plain old white sugar. And we're going to mix that in a little bit. Later on, once this is reduced, I'm going to throw in, you guessed it, a can of jellied cranberry sauce. That'll give that familiar flavor that everybody's, because this is very tart. Fresh cranberries are very tart. So this will give it that nice jelly consistency that everybody's so accustomed to and loves, but don't want to admit it. And this will help to sweeten it up a little bit. Then later on, we're going to add in some, once this starts to cook down a little bit, we're going to put in some cloves and some cinnamon sticks and the juice and the rind of one beautiful navel orange. All of this pith, all of this rind is going to go in there. So I'm going to cover this up. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to let it cook for probably about an hour until the cranberries start to pop open, and then I'll be able to fit the rest of this, the rest of the ingredients in. We've got dried cranberries that are going towards the end. That'll add a nice little texture to our dish, and everybody's going to absolutely love it. Trust me. So let me plug this in, let it get going, and we'll be right back. There's our beautiful cranberries with the sugar on top. It's just, it looks absolutely beautiful already, and we're not even cooked yet. Okay, our cranberries have been in there about an hour. I mixed everything together. I threw in a tablespoon of cloves, and I put in 3 cinnamon sticks, and it smells phenomenal. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking off the skin of that orange that I told you we're going to throw in here. So, also instead of water, if you wanted more of an orange taste, you could have used orange juice. And we're just going to cut this peel off just like this, and that's going to add such a beautiful flavor to our cranberries, and the skin is going to melt away. I'm also going to wind up juicing this as well inside of the pot. But first off, let me throw in these the peel. I'm going to dice it up real nice and fine. Notice I didn't get any of the white, only only the orange is what we wanted. And this flavor, along with the cranberries, it just makes a phenomenal pairing between the two. Okay, that's what, about and in with the cranberries. That's going to be perfect. That's going to be the perfect amount. a beautiful accent for our dish. Wow, I just opened that up and got such a hit of the cinnamon and the cloves. It's going to be phenomenal, trust me. I'll stir that around a little bit later. Let me wash my hands. I'm going to juice this into our mixture over there, and when I'm done with that, I'm going to clean up a little bit, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back with our beautiful Zen Thanksgiving, and the next thing we're going to do, we're still on the 19th, it's still the 19th. Get the pernil ready. I'm going to put all the spices and what's considered, I guess, their rub on the pernil, and it's going to be beautiful. So it starts with a whole heaping amount of garlic. This is 3 heads of garlic, and we're probably going to use like 2, at least 2 in there for now, because I've got 2 pernils. Skin still on it, which turns out lovely and gelatinous later on after cooking for about 10 hours. And we're going to season this all up, and it's going to be phenomenal. So, but let's get this started here. We got our garlic. We're going to put olive oil, maybe about half a cup. We're going to put some black pepper. We're going to put some salt, maybe about a tablespoon. We're going to throw in some sprigs of thyme. Nice flavor to it. We're just going to take that thyme right off there, just like that. And some cilantro. This is the stems that I told you about that I saved. And we're going to just take these stems, chop them up, throw them in here. Beautiful. I'm going to put in like a tablespoon of cumin. I don't have a chote. I'm going to use paprika, which will color this oil up nicely and add a nice little flavor. And that's pretty much it. And we're going to blend this up till it's a very, very fine paste, just about. And that's what's going to, we're going to slather our lovely picnic. That alone, just the smell of this, I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's out of this world smelling. But I'm going to give it a little taste, just to see if we got our seasonings right. Nice salty garlic, cumin. Oh my goodness. That's going to be phenomenal. Let me clean up. Then I'm going to open these up. I'm going to lay out some foil here so we can wrap them up right away. And once I get this cleaned up, we'll be right back. Okay, it's nice and cleaned up now. This is phenomenal, and this is the first time I'm going to use it. But it's just, the idea is phenomenal to me. One problem when you always cook a pernil is that somehow the skin, as it bakes, and some of it becomes crunchy, some of it becomes very gelatinous, and it's just phenomenal. But it tends to stick to the aluminum foil. So now Reynolds has come up with this beautiful non-stick aluminum foil, and we're going to use it today and see if it doesn't make a difference with making our pernil, so that it don't stick to the aluminum foil. So I'm going to lay out a couple of sheets of this. Now, from what the instructions say, the dull side. Okay, there's a shiny side and a dull side. The dull side is the side that does not stick. So there's a piece between these two pieces of foil. Now, you'll see we got the meaty side, we've got this skin side, and then we've got the meaty and the skin side right up here. So we're going to start by putting it around the side like this. And I like to take the knife, this is why I reserved some of that garlic, and I like to puncture the skin just like that with the knife and put a nice little slit in there. And do it again, and ooh, do it again. This foil's a little slippery. Do it again. As many times as you want. Pierce that skin. Go all the way through almost to the other side. And what we're going to do with that, this is why I reserved some garlic cloves from the 3 that I plucked out. I'm going to stuff a garlic clove inside each one of these slits. Beautiful. You want to put 2 garlic cloves, put 2. You want to put 10. Do whatever you want. It's just going to add such a nice flavor inside the inside of this meat. That's going to be phenomenal. Okay. So there's our garlic in on that side. We want all this skin side. We're going to want that down on the bottom. This foil is very, very slippery, by the way. Okay, okay, we're going to take some of our seasoning mixture and we're going to stuff it in those holes. Stuff it in those holes, just like that. Route it around, stuff it in the hole. Move it around, stuff it in the hole. Just like that. Beautiful. Because we want this meat flavorful, not just on the outside, but on the inside as well. Now that that's said and done, the fun part, we're going to wrap this up. And we're going to take our foil, now this is just our first layer of foil. We've got a couple of more layers to do. But the first one, this one that's going to be close to the skin, I want to be this new and improved non-stick foil. Okay, good. Let me wash my hands again. Since it's not in contact, direct contact with the skin, we're going to use regular aluminum foil to pull it nice and tight. Because we want to make a nice seal on all of our meat. It's in there. I'm going to do the other one, just like you saw me do this one. And then I'm going to do something that I've never done before, but I should. I'm going to take both of these pernils and I'm going to stick them inside this extra baking bag that I had. Because I got to tell you, the smell of this is so pungent of garlic and the cumin that you put this in your refrigerator and everything smells like garlic and cumin. So since I don't want that, I'm going to bag it up in the plastic. And that'll save us from having our eggs in the morning smell like garlic and cumin. So, that being said, this one's all done. I'm going to get on to the other one, wrap it up, put it in the bag, stick it in the fridge. And then we'll move on to the next project. We'll be right back. Our first day of our Zen Thanksgiving is coming to a close. Our 20 pounds of pernil is in the refrigerator, marinating in that lovely concoction, thanks to my beautiful mother. and her recipe for that. And it's just, the turkey is brining. Our cranberries are happening. In a couple of hours, I'll turn them off. But that's pretty much it that we can do at this many days out. So once the cranberries are done, I'm just going to pack them up, put them in the fridge, and let them chill. And they'll be perfect for the day of our little get-together. So that being said, we're going to put an end to it tonight, and we're going to come back tomorrow and work on the squash and Brussels sprouts and a couple of other things that we're going to put together. So, and maybe even the stuffing. We'll see. Tomorrow. Maybe stuffing? Yeah. All right. Maybe we can do stuffing tomorrow too. Thank you very much. I hope you learned something. Come back tomorrow.